Aliyah Boston is not just rewriting the rules of basketball, she's redrawing the blueprint of what it means to be a modern sports icon. In a sport often dominated by flash and flair, she brings an element of power, poise, and purposeful grit that you can't teach. Born on December 11, 2001, in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, Aliyah's path to prominence is about athletic prowess, but more deeply, about courage, sacrifice, and the will to chase something greater. At just 12 years old, Aliyah left the comfort of home and the warmth of the Caribbean sun to pursue a dream in the colder, more competitive world of New England prep schools. That move spoke volumes about the fire within her, a decision grounded not just in ambition, but maturity beyond her years. At Worcester Academy in Massachusetts, she became a phenomenon. With each game, each block, each rebound, Aliyah was laying the foundation for something special. She wasn't just good, she was transformative. Ranked number 3 nationally in the class of 2019, she chose to play for coach Dawn Staley's University of South Carolina program, a decision that reshaped the landscape of college basketball. From the moment she donned a Gamecocks jersey, it was evident that Aliyah Boston wasn't here to blend in. She was here to dominate. Aliyah's freshman season was a declaration, averaging a double-double, anchoring the team's defense, and leading South Carolina deep into the NCAA tournament. Before the end of her first year, she had already signaled she was a torchbearer for the program's future. Her sophomore and junior seasons cemented that role, becoming the nucleus of a Gamecocks team consistently ranked at the top. Her performances weren't just statistically impressive, they were emotionally grounding. Her presence on the court gave teammates stability, fans hope, and opponents nightmares. In 2022, that leadership paid off in the form of a national championship. Boston wasn't just a contributor, she was the engine. Her relentless work ethic and quiet resolve culminated in a tournament performance that earned her the NCAA tournament's Most Outstanding Player award. The tears she shed after the final buzzer were not just about victory. They were about everything that had come before, every early morning, every road trip, every unseen recovery session. Her trophy case grew to include the Naismith College Player of the Year, Wade Trophy, Wooden Award, SEC Player of the Year, multiple times, and countless All-American mentions. But what stands out even more than the hardware is her consistency. She didn't rely on peak moments. She built a career on dependable excellence, anchoring every game with unmatched intensity, no matter the opponent or the spotlight. But Aliyah Boston is more than an elite athlete. She's a voice, a platform, a movement. Off the court, she's used her rising spotlight to advocate for better representation and equity. She's steadily spoken out in support of women's sports receiving equal media attention, funding, and opportunity. Her public stances on racial justice and inclusion in athletics reflect an athlete who understands her platform and knows how to wield it. The WNBA came calling in 2023 when the Indiana Fever used the #1 overall pick to select Aliyah Boston, a decision that wasn't just strategic, but symbolic. The league welcomed not just a player, but a future cornerstone. Aliyah didn't disappoint. She entered the league as if she'd stepped off the college court straight into pro contention, earning an all-star nod during her rookie season and immediately transforming team culture with a calm efficiency that belied her age. Aliyah's game is complete and ever-evolving. Defensively, she's a wall, altering shots, directing help, securing boards. Offensively, she's broadening her horizon, adding mid-range finesse, improved passing, and savvy reading of defenses. She adapts to the game, and oftentimes, she leads it. Her teammates respect her, opponents track her, and fans can't get enough. She's composed and intelligent. To call her unflappable might be to understate it. Her impact stretches far beyond lines and stats. Aliyah Boston is emerging as the face of modern basketball leadership, a role she embraces with purpose. Her calm demeanor paired with an unrelenting work ethic inspires not only teammates but young athletes who see in her proof that greatness doesn't need theatrics, it needs truth. And Aliyah plays her truth every single night. Off the hardwood, she's becoming a commercial force. With endorsement deals from major players, sports and lifestyle brands alike, Aliyah represents the next generation of athletes who excel both on the court and in the boardroom. These partnerships are not performative, they connect her values to meaningful storytelling. Blue-chip brands recognize her authenticity, grounding, and disciplined mindset, traits that resonate with modern consumers far beyond sports fandom. Aliyah hasn't forgotten her origins. Her bond with the Virgin Islands remains unbroken. She frequently returns home to engage in youth clinics, fundraise for improvements in athletic facilities, and speak directly to families and schools. She understands community as more than a concept, it's a responsibility. And she shoulders it with grace and humility. Her advocacy isn't limited to personal visits. Aliyah collaborates with national organizations working toward youth sports access, mental health awareness, and career preparation for student athletes. She has joined panels and provided insights that reflect the wisdom of an experienced voice. She's not just using her platform, she's elevating it. Aliyah's influence in the WNBA is part of a sea change in the perception of women's basketball, the rise of its visibility, marketability, and mainstream respect. With every dominant game, every articulate interview, and every impactful community interaction, she's lighting the national stage brighter. At Star Hub, we spotlight impact, and Aliyah Boston is pure impact. She's redefining women's sports with grace and grit. She's shattering stereotypes. The dominant big can be godly gracious. A leader doesn't have to shout to be heard. Women's athletics don't have to whisper from the sidelines, they can speak with force and be heard worldwide. She's planning for what's next. Even now, Aliyah explores pathways beyond her playing career, broadcasting, coaching, youth development, and business ventures. With interests in non-profit organization creation and representation work, she's building a legacy of empowerment and community support. Her name now joins the lineage of legends who didn't just play, they reshaped the game. But there's a humility unique to her. She doesn't expect rooms to part. She earns every glance. She doesn't demand respect, she commands it with her actions. In a sports culture often consumed by ego, Aliyah Boston offers depth. Inside team meetings, she's steady. On the court, she's commanding. Off the court, she's compassionate. She calms chaos and elevates both culture and community. That kind of presence isn't built overnight. It's forged through unseen hours of training, film study, rehabilitation, and mental preparation. Aliyah's been through it all, and thrived. Her social media is candid and uplifting, showing morning workouts, bedtime reads, team celebrations, community service. Fans know she plays hard, but she lives hard, too, meaningfully and with intention. Despite all the accolades, Aliyah remains deeply human. She jokes with teammates, sheds tears at emotional moments, remembers past failures, and learns from losses. She's not perfect, and she's the first to admit it. What makes her unforgettable is that she is present, gracious, and consistent in her humanity. As the WNBA surges toward its brightest era yet, Aliyah Boston is ascending with it. She's a franchise cornerstone, someone who brings more than points or stats. She brings identity. She makes teammates elevate. She emboldens fans. And she strengthens her sport. So if you've watched her, you've seen brilliance. Heard her, you've heard wisdom. Followed her, you've followed purpose. Aliyah Boston isn't chasing greatness, she carries it in her bones. If her story inspired you, if her game lifted you, if her leadership offered light, then don't just keep watching. Like this to celebrate a champion of character. Share with someone who believes sport can spark change. Subscribe to our channel, where we spotlight the pioneers shaping our world. Until next time, stand tall, play with heart, and remember, Aliyah Boston doesn't follow in footsteps. She leaves them behind.